Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short little unboxing video to share with you guys. What we have here is a new Civivi, and before I open it, what's interesting about it is it feels kind of heavy. Maybe I'm just off, but I'm definitely excited to see what we've got in here. By the time you're watching it, this knife should be available, so I will link it right down in the description so that you guys can check it out if you want to. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. And thanks so much to Civivi for sending this in. So this is the Hypersonic gray steel handle with black G. Okay, good. I'm glad they didn't send me something with wood on it this time. It's partially my fault because they always reach out and they're like, hey, what do you want to take a look at? And then I choose the models and I don't say which one. So they just send me whatever, which I think is fine, right? I'm trying to decide if it feels heavy or... I don't know. All right. Yeah, this is a little bit big. Ooh. Do we have a large Civivi? Yeah, we totally do. This is a bigger knife with a milled steel clip. What is happening? Wow. Okay. This is really, really cool. This is the most different thing that I have seen from Civivi, I think, ever. I had to stop and like do a system scan internally to see if I could remember Civivi doing anything this different. No, I can't. It almost... I was about to say it looks like a GTC. Yeah, that's awesome. It's a GTC collab. Dude, 14C28N. Oh, man, that is cool. Pending what they will, what kind of price tag they'll put on it. Man, look at that. That choke up is wonderful. That is so cool. I'm just blown away that the clip is not stamped. Guys, this is probably going to be a pretty expensive knife. I'm hesitant, you know, and they're not going to see this video. No one's going to see this until it actually releases, right? The knife itself will have been released before this video goes up. So it's not like my words can affect the pricing in any way, shape, or form. They don't. A lot of people think that happens. It doesn't, right? Not before, anyways. But the build here and just looking at past knives from Civivi with a sort of, let's say, a larger steel frame lock with some inlay work and 14C28N. Sometimes the pricing has gotten a little bit out of hand, and by out of hand I mean outside of budget range for this channel, which is above $75. It won't surprise me if this knife is above $75, but I'll tell you what, if this knife is a penny below $75, it will be amazing. Okay, so when I say, like, man, I wish that Civivi would take more risks, I wish that they would work with people who would, like, create designs that pushes... it takes the quality that we get from Civivi knives, which is really, really good, takes that and like pushes it into like wild and crazy stuff that's still utilitarian. This is almost I would say this is exactly what I was talking about. In fact, this is better than what I was talking about. This is really cool. GTCs are super weird and crazy. Remember the GTC that they did with Zero Tolerance a long time ago. And I think that thing had... some weird like spring flipper thing on it that was really cool, and that's the kind of stuff that I really like to see, that I find really, really interesting. This is gorgeous, and this area right here that's been, oh, look at that. Yeah, that's really nice how they do that. This area right here allows you access to what is not a completely open hole. I gotta be honest, I think this looks better than a big open hole. They've just left a really thin area of steel here where you can get your finger in there and reverse flick it, and it works beautifully. The D10 is also really, really good. The inlay work here, the G10 inlaid into the steel, is very cool. I'm just blown away. I mean, honestly, had they made this thing, we could make this exact knife out of titanium and, you know, do a CPM 20 CV, and I think it would probably go over pretty well. But, you know, really, really cool when we're talking about, you know, more budgety materials. I'm just not going to hold my breath for a budget price tag. I am going to go ahead and measure it. This has got to be one of the biggest Civivi knives that I've ever seen or reviewed on this channel. Yeah, 8.75 inches. Civivi/We, this is exactly what I was talking about. I like all the other stuff that you release, and there's a lot of really, you know, here's our next generic thing, and it's a, you know, it's a flipper, and it's 14C28N, and it's G10, and you can get different colors, and that's great, right? That's fine. Keep making stuff like that and tweaking it a little bit here and there, because there's people who still, you know, definitely like stuff like that and just like the next tweaked thing. But taking risks, working with people who will create more interesting designs, making bigger stuff, right? Even if this does end up with a price tag that's, I still am happy to see that there's, you know, we're looking in different directions here. We're doing more interesting things. This is very cool. Very, very cool. It definitely gets people like me a lot more excited, right? The blade length on this is 3.75 inches. Cutting edge is 3.35, which I'm fine with because of this area right here. This forward choil area is wonderful. That blade shape that is the most GTC blade shape. Nice and thin behind the edge. I don't know if you want to call this reverse tanto or you want to call it a, you know, sheep's tanto, whatever you want to call it. I don't really care. But yeah, the action's great. Everything feels good. That's why it felt heavy, because it was a larger knife and it's a steel frame lock. So, and you know, normally I come down on knives for that, but this is so different. GTC in general has such a different aesthetic. It just doesn't even bother me. But I guarantee this weighs 5 to 5.5 ounces. Even more, 5.89 ounces. Wow. Okay, how about some size comparisons real quick here? Because this is not a review. It is just an unboxing and first impressions. Excuse me. Up against the Ontario Rats. Model 1. There we go. And how about like the Demco AD 20.5? So it's a big boy. We'll do a couple more here. What do we think? Yeah, let's do these three. So there's the Elementum, which I promised was going to be in more stuff. Pair of 3 and Bug Out. There we go. And how about another large one? Let's do the PM2. It's on the bottom, so it's going to look a lot bigger than it actually is, right? But there you go. Pretty big knife. If you want my guess on the price, nah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm not going to guess on it. I will be surprised if it's under 75. I will not be surprised if it's over 75. But there's some indicators here that it's going to be priced higher than I would prefer. But man, it's cool. Oh boy, that is really definitely the most interesting thing I've seen from Civivi in a while, and that's good because you know, it was getting kind of stale. Yeah, I don't know if you watched the last 50 Civivi unboxings on my channel, it was getting a little bit stale, right? Very cool stuff. You will get a full comprehensive review of this knife a few weeks from now, perhaps sooner. Thank you so much to Civivi. I honestly didn't even know this was what they were sending. They must have wanted to surprise me with this one. So, thanks so much for watching. Check out this knife down in the description. I'll link it. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.